Whenever I hear the word difficult times, it seems like it's trouble. And we all fear times of difficulty. We don't know how we'll handle them, what will happen to us, what will the end result be. And it seems like fear overwhelms us in the midst of difficulties. Well, God was speaking to his people, the Israelites, in Isaiah 43, and he wanted to give them some encouraging words amid all of their terrible circumstances. And it says in verse number 1 of 43, "Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine." Because we are God's, he says, fear not. And then he gives us 3 encouraging words to help us through those difficult times. First of all, he says, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you." When I think of passing through the waters, I don't think wading in the water. I think drowning in the water, feeling like the water is overwhelming us. It's something that we just can't handle. I mean, hey, if I was in any kind of water, I would drown because my swimming abilities are terrible. A hotel pool, yes. But out in the ocean and waters or the Lake Michigan, I would be a goner. And that's the way we are spiritually sometimes. We just aren't capable of overcoming the waters of trials that come to us. And we feel like, what am I going to do? And then God gives us a word of encouragement here. Because he says, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. That's kind of a picture of a lifesaver. A person who is there to, like a lifeguard, I should say, who comes alongside a person who is drowning and brings them back to the shore. And that's what God is like. He is like that lifeguard that comes alongside us and pulls us back to the shore, and he delivers us. And so when you and I are going through the waters of life, we feel like we're drowned. God says, look, I am with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Lo, I am with you always. What a great promise. What a great word from God in his talking to the people of Israel. And then the second one is this. And through the waters they shall not overwhelm you. What a beautiful thought there. He's not only talking about his person, his person, he's right there with them, but he's also giving them a promise. When we go through the difficult times, the hardships of life, God gives us so many precious promises. And that's why it's so important that when you feel like this says here, when you go through the rivers and it seems like you're in a flood and everything is just going right by you and you feel like there's nothing to hold on to in the flood, that there he is. He's right there, and he gives you the promises. I love God's promises, don't you? Those promises, I will never leave you nor forsake thee. I love you with an everlasting love. Ask, and it shall be given unto you. Seek, and you shall find. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. And I could just go on and on. And so when we go through the floods, when we go through the waters, God's presence is real. God's promises are real. And then he says, and when you walk through the fire, remember the 3 Hebrew children who walked through the fire with not with Nebuchadnezzar, but because of Nebuchadnezzar. It says here, when you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not consume you. That talks about God's protection. He took care of those 3 Hebrew children in the fire. And when you feel like you're in the frying pan of life and everything seems to be collapsing around you like a fire, God says, look, I will protect you. Underneath are my everlasting arms. And so like the Israelites, we too will face difficult times. But like the Israelites back in Isaiah, he says, look, fear not, you are mine. And then he gives these three encouraging words. When you feel like you're overwhelmed in the ocean of life, I am with you. When you feel like everything is floating away in a flood, look, I have some great promises for you. And when you feel like the fire is ready to burn everything you have and destroy all that you have, he says, I will protect you. And so may God's three encouraging words from Isaiah 43 be a blessing to you today.